Greetings, I'm Chevalier and I bid you welcome to the Situation and Guide of Lithuania. This is part 2, the expansion guide, and let's just delve into it quite fast and quite easily. So, first and foremost, your rival Lithuanian order, you have a Teutonic order and a rival Muscovy. Fabricate some claims against the Teutonic order and attack the Teutonic order. Take Memo and feed some lands to Poland here. Make sure that they pay the depot points for them. You don't want to pay the depot points for those things. Then just use the option for power projection, the humanoid rival from them, and use the humanoid rival on Livonian order as well, and take Riga and all other provinces that you want to take. I recommend just taking the provinces that you have claims on and that they have forts on, basically. So Latvia, Revel and Riga, you should take them for yourself, and perhaps Ossel and Goldingen as well. Depends on what you build claims on, but Riga must die, and you should probably humiliate both of them. This war is going to take you 5 to 6 years, I'll say even 7 years. Next, you should also have an alliance with Novgorod, then attack Muscovy. Feed some lands to Novgorod, perhaps the course here, just one province, remember, not two. There's one province there, and take the rest of the lands for yourself. Make sure that you have a rival. Make sure that you release a vassal from these regions here. Whatever you pick, you can go for Ryazan here if you want to attack them earlier on, or you can actually take Pskov, or you can take Novgorod. Whatever floats your boat, to be honest. Another option here is to wait until Muscovy kills Novgorod, then actually vassalize Novgorod. Then feed Novgorodian lands back to Novgorod from Moscow. That can be done as well. You'll gain a lower amount of aggressive expansion. But remember that Muscovy is Orthodox and you're Catholic, and you're gonna gain a lot less aggressive expansion because they are not part of your religion. No, that's not correct. Because they are the only Orthodox region into this Orthodox nation into this region, and the rest of these guys are Sunni, and you're not gonna gain that much aggressive expansion with them because the religion differ. There we go. Managed to pull that off. So the war against Muscovy is gonna be tricky and difficult. I recommend going for the first option here because you want to expand quite fast into Muscovy and Novgorod as well. So attack quite easily. Do not mind the diplo points. Just take as many lands, as many forts as well, so you can actually weaken them as much as possible. So the fort in Yaroslav and the fort in East Novgorod as well can be taken so that you can weaken them as much as possible. Same goes for the fort in Moscow here, that you can take as well. Then break the alliance Novgorod, then attack Novgorod and feed lands from Novgorod to your vassal. This whole process should take you around 50 years. The war against Teutonic 7, let's say, and the war against Muscovy, I'll say 8 years, and the war against Novgorod should take you another 5 years. They have some forts here, one in Luki and one in Novgorod, so that's gonna be a little bit tricky for you to take those lands. Remember that Muscovy has some vassals here. It's up to you how you want to pull them off. I recommend keeping them alive, simply because that will take some slots from Muscovy to get alliances. At the same time, these lands have forts, and they might actually want to rebel against Muscovy if they have gained enough power, and if Muscovy is weakened enough, which will actually kill Muscovy faster than expected. So all of this should take you around 25 years, even less than 25 years, including the war with Novgorod. Next, focus on Sweden and Denmark, Norway, and also on the Golden Horde, Kazan and Nogay, also Crimea. By now you should probably have a few under Poland if you're lucky enough. If not, try to fabricate a claim on the throne and declare a war on Poland for those lands. If you do declare war on Poland, remember that you're gonna gain a huge amount of aggressive expansion against these guys. And also, if you want to declare war on Poland, make sure that you have an alliance with their enemies, because it's gonna be quite difficult for you to gain enough support to kill Poland. Keep that in mind as well. Also make sure that they have annexed Mazovia before you declare war on them, as well as annex Moldova if at all possible for them, because Moldova is a march. But that will allow you to have that will lower their total amount of troops. that they'll have. Also kill one of their forts. The forts in Warsaw here is gonna be obsolete. It's not gonna exist, not obsolete. So let's say that you got lucky and you have a PU over Poland. You had a PU over Poland quite easily, and you have taken lands from Moscow, Novgorod, and Lithuanian Order and Teutonic Order. Next, in the next war, either declare war on Denmark or support the independence of Sweden so that Sweden can break free. Then just attack Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. Pretty much standard stuff here. To slowly kill Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, and take lands after lands after lands. If you want, you can release Finland from here, but it's not recommended. Simply just feed them lands to your Muscovite vassal. So this should take you around 50 years, and this should be the end of the early game. I say this so that you can actually focus on this region here, simply because it's more important to attack these regions here, because you're gonna gain the institutions faster if you move west. At the same time, they're gonna be your main enemies, rather than these guys here, which are gonna be quite easily squashed. So for the mid game and for the later parts, just keep on moving into these guys, become the HRE Emperor. As I said before, in the initial situation, try to become the HRE Emperor. Then as a tertiary war goal, move into these guys and try to take lands from them slowly. Now, let's talk about enemies in the mid game. The Ottomans, Karakoyunlu, and the Timurids. If you're lucky enough, you should be able to have a border with all 3 of them by now. Let's say by the 1520s, you should have a border with the Timurids, Ottomans, and Karakoyunlu, and slowly moving to them. Your primary focus should be the Ottomans, and try to weaken the Ottomans as much as possible with your Polish PU and your Hungarian ally. It should be quite easily done, and try to kill the Ottomans. Try to really weaken them, and try to really make sure that they don't move and they do not actually create a huge superpower into this region here. An alliance with the Mamelukes as well is doable if you want to pull that thing off. Other than this, main rivals should be Austria. If you want to become a HRE Emperor, they're going to be your main target of attacks, and try to weaken them as well. And if you want to move into the English realms, I know England, Burgundy, and Austria, if they have the Burgundian inheritance, France as well is going to be your turn on your side. But this is part of the late game basically. So yeah, let's go into a step-by-step recap of where should you attack. First war, Teutonic Order, feed lands from Teutonic Order to Livonian Order, to Poland, then humiliate both the Livonian Order and the Teutonic Order, take some lands from the Livonian Order as well, and some lands from the Teutonic Order and the Livonian Order. Whatever floats your boat, try to take the forts so that that will be faster. Then declare war on Muscovy, take some lands from Muscovy, mainly the forts as well, then release a vessel, then break the alliance with Novgorod, then attack Novgorod, then attack Sweden. So either attack Sweden or make sure that you support the independence of Sweden against Denmark so that it will be easily weakened. At the same time, the truces with the Teutonic Order and the Livonian Order should be over. Attack them again and take lands from them. At the same time, you can take Gotland from Denmark if you want to, and declare another war against Muscovy and another war against Novgorod. Once you've done this and they are quite weakened, move against the Great Horde, the Crimea, and the Ottomans. Try to take these guys out first, then follow the war against Ottomans. Try to have an alliance with Hungary and Austria. They will join you in a war against Ottomans most likely, because they 100% will rival the Ottomans. Not 100%, but 90% sure that they'll rival the Ottomans. Followed by this, expand some more into Nogai, Kazan, and slowly, if I go for here, go for a small TI. Come on, man. Go for a small TI, move into Nogai, Uzbek, the Timurids, and slowly move into these guys. The expansion into these guys all the way to Mongolia and Ming should be done as a tertiary war goal, and should be done slowly. Try to view it as a expansion, but a small expansion. Like you're gonna gain only 25% of the development, because they're mostly gonna be territorial wars, and you won't need them. So try to squash the Ottomans even more. And Quara should be already squashed. Oh, sorry. Kara should be already squashed, and your next target should be the Mamelukes and the Timurids if they are dead by the Persian rebels. And that is it, pretty much it. Like, there's nothing much more to say. I will also like to add that becoming the HRE Emperor really fast and getting the Burgundian inheritance is gonna change your gameplay quite heavily, to the point where you can actually fight France and England earlier on. But this is a matter of luck, and can be done. I'm Chevalier. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time, guys. Ciao.